What's up guys, Driz here. I'm bringing you a quick tutorial on how to do the color flashes the way I do them. It's not going to be like the color flash spams, it's just be color flashes to the beat. I'm going to excuse myself right now, I have a cold, so I may either sound nasally, slur my words, or the occasional voice crack, but we're just going to get through this. First of all, you're going to import your stuff, do your composition, set everything up the way you should have it set up. And I'm assuming you should know how to do that if you're trying to learn color flashes. When you have your song in there, you're going to find the beat you want. So I already have it aligned up to the beat. And to start this off, what you're going to do is you're going to go over here to Effects and Presets. And you're going to type in Tint. And just before you do Tint, go up to Layer. Oh, hold on. Layer, New, and Adjustment Layer, which will just make this all easy. And it'll just make everything more simpler if you're doing this on the adjustment layer. So now you're going to come drag the tint over onto the adjustment layer and set the amount to 0. So you're going to have this exactly one frame before the beat hits. You have everything set to 0. You're going to bring over the exposure, so go over to the Effects and Presets and type in Exposure. And then it's under Color Correction. Again, put that on the adjustment layer. And then last but not least, bring in a radial blur. Just type that in. Same as always, it's under Blur and Sharpen. And put that on the adjustment layer. And set all of them to 0. Alright, now first of all, as you may or may not be able to see, I'm exactly one frame behind the beat. So that's where I'm going to keyframe everything. I'm going to keyframe the amount to tint on the tint. And we're just going to work with one thing at a time here, but I'm going to keyframe them. I'll keyframe the exposure. And I'll keyframe the amount on the radial blur. And also for the radial blur, change the type to zoom. Just for this. Now we're going to start this off with tint. So here's this beat. I've done the keyframing. I'm going to move exactly one frame forward. And change the amount to 60. 60, 50, 70, somewhere around there is generally what I use. For the colors, we're going to leave map white 2. We're going to leave that at white. And for map black 2, I guess for the first one, we're going to pick a orange. Let's go with orange. No, it's not. I lied. Let's go with blue. So there's that. And let's not go with blue, actually. Let's go with like purple. Alright, so now that we have our purple keyframed, we're going to go down here to exposure. We're going to change the exposure to 2.45. So now we have a bright purple. And down to radial blur, I want to say 16. And now you have this effect. So now that you have both of those keyframed, you're going to click a certain amount of frames depending on how your song is. You're going to click a certain amount of frames forward. So I did 20. And now after the 20, you're going to set the exposure back down to 0. The amount back down to 0. And amount to tint back down to 0. You open up your adjustment layer, open up the effects, and you can just pop all 3 of them open. We're going to work down here from now on. So now that you have the first one laid out, you're going to go find the next beat for the second color flash. And just give me a second, I got a round preview out to make sure this is the beat that I had placed out for this. Yeah, alright, that's the beat. Now, we're going to go, again, one frame before the beat's dropped. Re-keyframe everything that's been keyframed before. Just the only difference with what we are doing on this one is we're going to quickly keyframe the purple flash, the one frame before it. That's the only time we're going to keyframe it. And as soon as we move forward, you're going to come over here, you're going to change the purple to any color you want. So now I guess we're going to go with a yellowy green color. And you're basically repeating the steps. So after that, you're changing amount to tint. Like I said last time, 60. You're changing the exposure to 2.45. and you're going to change your amount to 16. You can't really see it with the yellow, but now we're going to see this. We're going to show you this, just so you see everything is the same again. You're going to count your frames forward, and again you're going to reset everything back to 0. So amount to tint 0, exposure 0, radio blur 0. You're going to find your next beat and repeat the steps, keyframing the amount, keyframing the exposure, and keyframing the radio blur. And do not forget to keyframe the matte black too. You don't need to touch the matte white too, but you're just working with the matte black too, because that's what's changing the actual tint. So we're going to do this one more time. We are going to pick a blue. Everything back. Amount to tint will be 60 again. Radio blur 16. And exposure 2.45. Count all the frames forward again. Set everything back, and you should be good. Now let's see how long it takes for the round. I'm going to do a quick round preview just to show you guys the color flashes I'm talking about. And when this all plays out, and if you're sticking around still, this clip will be fully edited by the end, so you can just take a look at it. That was pretty much it. That's how I do my color flashes. I know everyone does them differently. I just feel like this way is the easiest for me. So if this made sense, let me know. If you think this was helpful, let me know. And if it wasn't helpful, or you would like me to improve this, I'll definitely go more in depth with everything. But for now, this is what it looks like.